Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want us to be diving into something that has been pressing on my mind for a while now, and it has to do with the family settings and marriage. I want us to talk about what's going on currently now. This Tuface and Annie DBS issue is really something to talk about. Yeah, while I'm not specifically saying things that happened to Annie and Tuface because I'm not in the home front, so I can't really explain what happened there, but I'll be using some general terms and stuff. So my issue now is what's really happening to the home front and what's happening to marriages, and what can we do to salvage this situation, what can we do better as humans. So yeah, I want us to really dive into this talk, and this evening I want to invite my husband, because when I'm talking, I'm going to be talking from the women's perspective, right? I'm going to be talking as a mother, as a wife, something I want, how women view this whole thing. So I don't want it to be one-sided, so I want my husband to join me so that he will throw more light into what it has to do from the idea of a man, and then let us see if there's one or two things we can learn as takeaway from the discussion we're going to be having today. So, Mr. Okuso, welcome to my channel. I know it's very hard to pin you down. Yeah, well, welcome. I was discussing with my audience about marriages, what makes it work, how things that shouldn't be done, what can ruin marriages, and using this Tuface issue currently trending now, because I really thought there was love in that space. So for it to shatter to the point where Tuface is already proposing to someone new, became quite scary. And I thought to discuss it with my audience. And besides, it's not just Tuface. There's been a lot going on the social media space about marriages. And I for one, I think it's going to be scaring the young generation, the upcoming generation. People may not even want to venture into marriage anymore. They might just go looking for baby mamas and baby daddies everywhere. And I don't think that's actually the structure that God and nature has actually mapped out for marriages. So welcome to the channel.
Thank you. Over the years, when you talk about marriage, I think there's a point about marriage that we need to look at, and I keep telling you this. Anything that has to do with routine, for me, doing any task that is routine, over time, it gets tired, it gets boring. So you need to get inspiration. And the basic inspiration from marriage is, do you love the person you are getting tied down to? Do you really love the person? Because loving the person sincerely and deeply from the heart will speak volumes in the future when that routine task of being in marriage comes to ground. So if you are unable to withstand the test of marriage, it simply means that you may have thought you love that person, and genuinely there are some cases you really love the person, but the love has worn out over time. And I think that's the case with Tuface. Tuface, first of all, we know his background is a bit involved with so many women. He has said it in his musicals over and over. I like woman where I like woman where. He has said it. Now people know the listing. Not talking before. I like woman where. First, that is one. Two, Tuface is not really educated. You see, if somebody like not say I'm comparing anybody, but somebody like Dari or what's his name, Ramsey Noah, really educated guys, if there is the same situation with exactly a scenario like that of Tuface, you see, they will handle it in a much better way. They might just come out and say, write a statement that due to irreconcilable differences, where nobody needs to know. But Tuface is not even up to 2 weeks. He made an announcement, and now is another baby mama. So for me, I think the basics is, one, marriage is routine. So after a while, you get bored. And sincerely, from my own experience, you get bored But how do you ignite it? It's your commitment. Do you love that person? I tell people, don't go into marriage if you don't love that person genuinely, because the time will come when the love and friendship will be tested. And the question is, can it stand the test of time? So that's my take.
Okay, so what you're saying is that marriage should go beyond love to commitment. So on whose side do you think this thing should be more on? Because the pressure is much more on the woman, right? The pressure is so much on the woman. If like, let me give a typical example in Nigeria. Nigerian men cheat a lot, but if a woman cheats, you see the world will turn against her. Everybody will say
abroad, they know you cheat for abroad too.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the black culture in Nigeria, if a woman cheats, they will be like, throw her out. Oh, she will kill you. Oh, yeah, here and there. Everybody's going to be bashing the woman. Everybody's going to be dealing with her. But if the man cheats, they will say, oh, go down on your knees, pray for him, dress sexy. Oh, you're not cooking his favorite meals. A man goes to where he finds peace. That's the new one now. So they begin to make it look like anytime a man goes out, it's because the woman has not given him peace. But there's something I really need to understand. If a man has not built an environment for peace, how is the woman supposed to give him peace? For example, how do men define peace in a home front? Because from the women's side, we're beginning to think that men feel peace is when the woman will not touch his phone, allow him cheat in peace. Anytime he comes back, don't ask him questions, don't demand responsibility for him, don't ask him anything. Do everything you need to do to keep your home, because it's the woman's duty to keep her home. So my question is, what do you men call peace? And don't you think that you are supposed to create that environment for peace before the woman can actually give you the peace you so seek?
Yeah, you're right. One of the major issues of marriage is cheating, So for me, one of the biggest no-no for men is a nagging woman. And nagging comes in different form. You could have a genuine reason why you're nagging, or a genuine reason for complaining. Like the man went out, stayed out too long, is a serial cheat, and all that. But there's a way you can present your matter. If you want to present your matter, don't come railing like the woman that knows it all. That you want the man to just change overnight. Just take, for example, a new marriage. You just go to your marriage 2 or 3 years. You still trying, early marriage, you're still trying to sort your differences. Maybe the guy has been a serial cheat and now he's trying to calm down. Genuinely, he's trying to calm down. But the way the woman is handling it is going all brimstone and fire, trying to make the family to be involved. The man doesn't want all those nonsense. The man is not foolish. The man, most men, they really want to walk around the marriage. Yes, they're still cheating, which is not good. But my question is, how is the woman able to present the matter? Are you able to present it in a very polite, calm manner and say, oh, Oga, this thing you are doing so, if na me go cheat like that, they cheat so, you go like am?
But sorry, I cut you short. I would like to ask. You said the woman should present it in a polite manner, present it on the table. Oh, honey, yes, I'm so sorry, my love, you're cheating. Why are you cheating? So she sounds polite. But there's an adage that says you cannot beat a child and still tell the child how to cry.
Yeah.
This is an emotional issue. When a woman is cheated on, when a man cheats on a woman, you take away the woman's peace. You make the woman feel less of herself. You make the woman feel like she's not enough, and then you need more. And then you still demand that she should still find a polite way to put it to you that you have cheated. When the woman is hurting, however she blows hot, is for her mental health sake. You cannot cheat and still coordinate how I react to cheating. It's like flogging a child and then controlling the way the child cries. You can't do that. That's bullying. So don't you think instead of this whole thing, the men should approach marriage with the idea of, I will not cheat? And then the women will approach the marriage with the idea of, we are a team working together. For me, I always believe that anything that is open Anything that is open is no longer a secret, right? And then evil thrives in secrecy. If a man is able to keep his phone and password it, there was a story I heard. The man actually put a password on his phone and he forgot the password. They had to flash that phone. Why are you going through all that pressure? If you are able to be open to your wife, and then let her know what's going on around you, let her have access to your phone. What's there? Before phones came, marriage was, and even after this phone era sweeps away, marriage will still remain. So why will phone become something that is now a barrier? Don't touch my phone. If you have nothing to hide, you will not tell her not to touch your phone. And secondly, men need to really understand that when you cheat a woman, half of the woman is, you kill half of that woman's feelings towards you. For every time you cheat on that woman, the painful part is that men think that when they cheat and they are not caught, they are safe. You are not safe. The woman has natural instincts that makes her know something is going wrong. She may not have caught you red-handed, but she's got natural instincts that make her know that something is wrong somewhere. And it's only going to play for so long before she will find out what is really going on. And most of the time, when a woman complains, it's true. So why do men see it as nagging? Is it because they don't want to tackle that issue and they want to be left alone? Because if I'm doing something wrong and you tell me I'm doing something wrong and I refuse to change from the habit and you keep telling me, I begin to see it as nagging. So what's your take? What do you think? Because men, I think we need to come to a place where we understand what is going on from both parties.
If you look at how strict the Jews were when Moses and talking about the Israelites and all that, there was even a law that you must not be adulterous, and all that, for the kids or whatever. But even as strict as that society was, we know the story of King David taking Uriah's wife. We know the story of Solomon. We know the story, and the list goes on and on and on. What does it tell you? It tells you that there's a fundamental issue with a man having self-control. Women need to understand that 80% of the men, or let me say 70% from my own investigation, 70% of men might have it difficult to have self-control when it comes to women. So there's no magic wand to make it go away.
So
there's no magic wand to make it go away. So once you understand that, then you know that you're shouting or nagging or breaking bottle is only going to exacerbate or make the situation more critical, rather than try to understand that this problem has been with men from time immemorial, years back. I'm telling you about as strict as the Israelites were, that if you were caught, you'll be stoned to death. We still hear the story of prostitutes. Did you not hear the story of prostitutes in the Bible? Did you not hear the story of how God was so angry, destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah because of their sexual whatever and all that? So you tell us there's a problem. Once you understand there's a fundamental problem, it's just like Ford vehicle recalling all their cars because it's a fundamental issue. There's nothing you're going to do. That problem, they have to recall all the vehicles to fix that problem. So this problem is a default setting already with the men. Now, when it comes to marriage, if you open your box of marriage and you have the one that have decided that, okay, in this marriage I'm not going to cheat, good for you. What a beautiful marriage. Thank your star, be happy. But if you also have the ones that are from setting default, they are ready to be cheating, what do you do? I can bet you, looking at Tuface and his situation, I'm not there, but I know that one of the issues Annie must have been thinking over time, as a good wife, she is a good mother, she'll be able to take away that aspect of his character, and make him a sit-home dad, more responsible and all that. But he failed to understand that this is a default setting for that particular species. So it's going to be hard to take it away. So it's either you come to terms with, oh, baby, this thing you are doing, I would not be able to have tried over 10 years I've tried to correct this situation, but it's not working. It's either we separate our go away because it's obvious it's not going to work, or you live with it because that guy has refused to change. Then there's another one, the third group, that after pressurizing, they will change. They will not say, they will not realize that this is really hot. In fact, let me give myself an example. Any time in marriage or any type of dating, I never thought that if you are dating another person, that you should hurt another person. It never occurred to me as, why are you hurting? Is it your body? You know, it didn't register to me that you should be hurting. Why are you hurting? Am I going to leave you and marry the other person? Or, you know, so, but over time, I studied books, and I said, oh, this is really a big issue for women. So imagine me thinking like that, educated. So I'm sure a lot of other guys will be thinking, why is she, like Tuface will say, what is your problem? Because I go to Nike's house, spend one night, we don't even do anything self. I just go see and come back, you know. Why they hurt you? Why they pay you? I've not been mama for the as the queen with the crown. So what, you know? So women need to understand that men might not be seeing it from that picture or that light. Notwithstanding, no excuse for the men. Since I am men now, men should understand that once you get into the marriage, then you need to drop those. And I know it's difficult for those that are already serial players. It will take a while. I have a couple of friends in Nigeria, back in Nigeria. I know them, even if they marry, it will be hard for them to drop those lifestyle because it's become part of them. But the woman needs to find a way, not fight. When I heard Annie's voice in that clip where she was shouting, and I said, wow, this is Tuface, you know, this thing go hard to face survival, because what you want him to change is a default setting. It's going to be difficult.
So are you saying that women should live with this aspect, because this also affects the woman's mental health? That thing Annie did in that clip where she was screaming and shouting could be any woman. If you push a woman to her breaking point, she's going to flip. It could be anybody. So at what point is Tuface going to take responsibility? At what point will he decide to take it easy? Because I feel like marriage should be like a compromise where we both strike a balance. If I tell you something is not comfortable by me, and you as the man feel that that's your default setting in quotes, now I'm not comfortable with your default setting, but the whole world wants me to hug your default setting. At what point are we going to meet in a place where I can actually cope and you can actually cope? When are you going to reduce those activities? Or how would I put it, what plans do you have, or what ways are you trying your best to show? Because there's a difference between somebody that relaxes and says, this is my nature, men are polygamous in nature, this is my default setting, she should know how to deal with it. So what it means is that a poorly raised boy becomes a man, marries a woman, and then we're expecting the woman to fix him, or just keep quiet and deal with it. After all, in the olden days, people married and people still had adultery and all those, and what was not. But the question is, at what point will the men take responsibility for their actions, and at what point will they remove it from being the woman? Because now Annie was screaming and screaming and screaming. There was a root cause for the screaming. No matter what happens, there was a root cause. Annie did not just get up to scream and scream and scream. Like I said earlier, how do you beat a child and still teach the child how to cry? So at what point will men begin to take responsibility so that this whole thing can balance, and then they can strike a compromise and meet somewhere?
So in the Nigeria setting, there are two ways to look at it. You want to go through the Christian setting, I want to go through the conventional setting, which for me is the logic setting. So, like I said, the women come into marriage. The marriage is like a box you're opening. You don't know what's inside the box. So if you get the type that have decided to say, I'm not going to cheat, I'm a one-woman man and all that, over time you will know, and you will be confident. My husband, he traveled to Mecca for 5 days. I know I'm not, that you are confident you're not going to do anything. Good for you. Now, if you have this type like the Tuface, for me, if you look at it in the Christian angle, you want to try and commit it in prayer, You want to call pastors for counseling and all that. If it works, good. If it doesn't work, we go back again to the default setting. So let's move to the conventional, logical way. How long do you want to fight a battle that you cannot win? How long? So now you're going to look at it this way. Is he a good father? It's just that his weakness is this aspect. It doesn't beat me. It doesn't fight me. He doesn't. But this aspect is just his weakness. Over 10 years, 15 years, I've tried. I've not been too nagging. I've tried to tell him. In fact, we got to the point that if he's coming to sleep with me, he will use condom. Like, I don't know where he's going to. We have talked about it over and over. So at what point will you not say, okay, it's not going to work? Because you have tried. Look at Yol and the, what's his name? May. Could it be that they got to the point when the woman said, okay, it's up. I can't deal with this anymore.
But May never divorced Yol. Yol left the house.
Oh, Yol left the house?
Yeah.
Okay. So he left the house and never went back home?
Yes, and people claim that men go to where they find peace.
So, okay. So, what about AY and his wife? The wife just left. We don't even know the situation of that.
I don't know what happened.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is, if the woman tries her best, not with force, and not with the thinking that I'm going to change him, you're not going to change him. Move that mentality first, because that is where he has been for a long time. He has dated other girls that didn't change him before you came to the picture. Why do you feel you're going to change him? You put in all your best, being a good wife. He knows that this woman has not been nagging. This woman has been genuinely be consigned and wants me to really change. But unfortunately, it's just my weakness. Then you call off the marriage. Simple. If that is what your problem is, that I'm not going the Christian way, conventional way, I'm talking about the logical way. That is what happened here in abroad now, the white people. Once you cheat, because most of them, they are dedicated to one person. So once you cheat, it's a showstopper. There's nothing like forgive him or, there's some cases they later, what's her name now? Jennifer Lopez and my brother, what's his name? Ben Affleck. They've come in, gone, good. There's some cases that you do reconcile. But for me, if it's not working, then cut it off. There's no need. Because that's a battle you're not going to win. But if the man, you see signs that this man is genuinely changing, then good for you too.
So my question remains, why is this whole thing tilting towards the women? What is it that men can't do better? They just sit down in this so-called default setting.
That is why I said there are two sets of people. The one that will listen to you and now change. But also there's some that will not going to change.
So is there nothing that can be done, like people talking, like coming from a man like you? Because right now it's like you're sitting on the fence. You're just saying, oh, the ones that are polygamous are polygamous. The ones that are flirts are flirts. There are some that are okay, but there are some that are flirts. So the woman, either you live with it or you divorce. You're just, I've not seen the part where you hold men responsible for these things. I've not seen the part where you tell men to do better to keep their home front. Is it that men shouldn't be spoken to? Is the woman that has to talk softly? She has to be soft, and she has to do all the work of making the marriage work. And then when it doesn't work, she can choose to stay and live with it, or she can choose to walk out of the marriage. At what point do the men take responsibility of becoming a better man?
No, if you're talking about advising the guys, it's a different issue. We can talk about advising guys, listening to counselors, listening to your mentor, your pastor in the church, and but what I'm still saying is that there's still some percentage, even if after you've done all this, that will still not change. So your talk, your advice, everything well said, well spoken, is Tuface. Is it Tuface that they used to yab in a comedy show in front of his wife? Is that not enough embarrassment for him to say, oh boy, I don't stop this life now? So what are you telling me about? So is it pastor that was speaking to him, or is it more okay? What do you want to okay? Which English you want to speak again? Tell me. That two have no edge. So
those set of men now, women should live with them or walk away.
So you might not now wait and say, okay, this guy is really he's a nice guy. He takes care of his kids. He's a very in person, he's a very good person. But this is his weakness. what do we do about it?
But there are different types of abuse. There's verbal abuse, there's physical abuse, there's mental abuse. When you cheat on a woman, do you know it's an abuse? It's a mental abuse because you mess up with her mental psychic. She can actually go crazy because of that situation. So if you're saying, oh, he's a good dad, that's a totally different thing. You can be a good dad and you're not giving the woman in the house peace. So whether you're a good dad, it becomes a second thing. I cannot say, because first of all, it's okay to give your children a good father, but it is also healthy to give yourself a good spouse.
That's why I say you have to look at it from the men's perspective. When some of these guys doing these things, don't see this as serious as the way you ladies are looking at it. Mental stress, depression. The men just say, what's the problem? I'm just going out to have fun.
Okay, but let me ask you a very crazy question. Okay. Since you don't see it as mental health, it's not depressing, it's just there. Why do you have a big deal when you find out that you have a child that is from another man? Your wife gives you a child that is not yours. Or you find out that the woman is cheating outside. Men can't handle it. I've seen lots of cases where the man says, oh, she's cheating outside, and they're almost dead. We watched the show together the other day, and the man divorced his wife. He had, that would be, was it Jennifer Hudson?
Jennifer Hudson, yeah.
Yeah, the cousin, the sister.
The sister.
The man had his own wife, divorced the woman, got himself a girlfriend out there, and when he heard that the ex-wife had a boyfriend, he fumed and came into the house and started killing people in the house. But he had his own girlfriend out there, and then he was still supervising his ex-wife to know what she was up to even after the divorce. So why is it that, oh, women should either live with it or seek divorce and all that, but men can't handle cheating? Yet men say they just went outside to have fun. I don't want to marry her. It's just for fun. I have my family at home. I don't bring the girl home, so I'm respecting my wife and all that. But if tables were turned, the men would die. They can't even take a little pinch of what they dish out. What do you have to say about that?
For me, what is good for the goose? Is it geese or goose? Goose is good for the gander. If a man is a serial cheat, if his wife cheats, he should make no complaint. That's my law, my principle. That is the Moses law of you slap one cheek, you turn the left cheek.
An eye for an eye.
An eye for an eye. Good. So simply said, if a man is cheating and the wife goes to cheat, what are you complaining? What are you complaining? She's paying you back your coin. So for me, any man that is complaining is, if you, I don't know where you're going to put that matter. It doesn't make any sense. This is what you're doing, I'm doing. So why you complain? Where is the problem is that the man is not cheating and the woman is cheating. Then it's not balanced. Or the woman is cheating and the man, so that is the one that I want to listen. But that you are cheating, then your wife going to cheat, then you are complaining. What? I don't understand. What are you complaining about?
But many people will say if the wife cheats, she's going to kill the husband. She's going to.
Oh, but when the man cheats, he's not going to kill the wife.
Yeah, there are going to be so much stories flying around. I don't really know why. When the man cheats, it's not an issue, but when the woman cheats, it becomes an issue. And you see that even the men that cheat more are the ones that can't even stand a cheating spouse. The men that cheat the most, they can't stand a cheating spouse. In fact, they don't even need to see a cheating spouse. There are some of them just see the wife say hello to another man is a problem. There's been situations where, of course, there was a story I heard one time. Someone told me that she went to the hospital to give birth to her baby, and the husband came in. And this is a real life story, by the way. And then the husband came in and was like, when she had given birth, he was like, oh, well, he was not around when she gave birth. So when he came in to see the baby, she was like, oh, that's the doctor that helped in the theater. The man flew, he was so upset. Do you know why he was upset? He said the doctor was a man. Why will a male doctor attend to his wife in the theater? Why not a female doctor? So he started asking, so he put his hand inside. So he put his hand inside.
You forgot to myself.
He put his hand inside. This is a man that they've been catching every time with woman. The wife has not even started cheating. She didn't cheat. She just went to have a baby. His baby. in the hospital, and he was like, so put your hand inside. So, and it was a big deal.
Yeah, some people say that they can't take what they dish out, but for me, if you're cheating and your wife cheats, it's equation balance. That's for me.
So, but what about the men that feel like they're the head of the home and they can do whatever they like? And you hear them say things like, "Woman, when I married with my money, I married her with my money. I married her with my money. It's my house. I paid the bride price. She did not marry me." So, what about such men?
All those ones are illiterate people because the times are changing. You know, yeah, we understand in the past, you know, the man is the head of the house, is the one that leads, and the kids and the wife that are behind him. But man, that has changed now. The world has gone to the level, it's 50-50. It's not like head of the house again. The man and the woman are equal. Yeah, if the woman has a stake, the man has a stake too. So if you do something that is not good for your spouse, then you shouldn't do it, because you know, if my wife comes to, like you now, you come to tell me you don't like cheating, and I used to cheat, I'll try and work hard to please you. That's why I go back to the beginning again. Before you marry somebody, you must love that person genuinely. It's not a try and error something. Better don't even go to the marriage. Don't enter that marriage that you do try and error. Say, this girl, what she get? She get Bacasio. See her Bobby. You know, I think this girl, this girl, her mama. Nah, she's soft.
She's fair, very fair.
She fair. She fair. This girl with the good club, with the ball.
I like her because she likes going to the club.
She dance. All those ones no go last.
I like her because she smokes when I smoke.
Oh, you like her when you smoke? Because smoke, okay. So when she get better, she go see the smoke.
Yeah, that's where the problem comes. And then when she stops smoking, she also expects that you will take up responsibility as a man and stop, but you still want to be smoking. And again, so that's it for today, my friends. Thank you for watching the show. It keeps getting better. We keep learning every day. So our take home today is, my sister, before you go into that marriage, because from the men's perspective here, they've said that this is a default setting in some men. So there are some men that will never change, whether the devil likes it or they are not going to change. There are some that are work in progress that will want to work on themselves and change, while there are some that have decided on their own before marriage that they are going to do better. So my dear sister, he said in his statement that whatever is in the package, you should manage it. But from a woman to a woman, check that package before you open it. Because once you open it, it becomes your package. Search very well. I refuse to admit to the people that say, when you meet today, you marry tomorrow. Don't try that. Find out how he treats his wife, his mother, before you become the wife. Because that's how they're going to be treating you soon. Find out how he treats his sisters. What is his history with relationships? What broke his last relationship? How did it end? My dear sister, on the other side, you see a man that is divorced, a serial cheat, and you jump in because you think you are the Messiah. You want to come and save and rescue and save the day. That cane they're using flogging the first wife is by the door. They're going to use it on you very soon. Because you heard, except the man has decided to change, he is not going to change. So if you are in a marriage, if you are in a relationship, and you are seeing signs that the man's commitment is not as strong as you think it should be, don't go further. Do not go further. But if you are in a marriage and you have a spouse that has cheated on you but is willing to do better, we're going to discuss that topic another day. How to remedy the situation when you find out that your spouse is cheating but is willing to change. We're going to be discussing that whole topic a different day, because if we start that is a different story entirely. So, but I also want to encourage you, if you have a spouse that is willing to change and is willing to work with you to get better, continue. Our next post is going to be on that discussion solely, where I will be telling you and giving you words of encouragement and telling you things to do to help you get better in your relationship. Thank you, sweetheart, for joining us today, and I hope we do this more often too.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Like and subscribe.
So please like, share, invite your friends. Like I said, we're going to be having some talks. There are sometimes we will say things that may not agree. You may not agree in your spirit. I don't say everything we're going to be saying is going to go down well with everyone. But if it is one word you have learned from today, hold on to that. Like me, I've learned that some men don't change. I didn't call anybody's name, but take care until we meet again. It's reality of life with Julia. Bye-bye.